It's the most anticipated movie of my accountant's life. The Marvels is a mere 3 weeks away from release, but to Disney, that can't come and go fast enough, as it's full speed panic when it comes to this film.
Is that like a personal attack or something?
Hi everyone, it's Az here from HeelvsBabyface, Captain Marvel. No, it's Captain Scarlet. God, I love that show. Captain Scarlet, you're nearly indestructible.
This is the voice of the Mysterons. We know that you can hear us, Earthmen.
It was awesome. However, Captain Marvel came out in 2019 and did over $1 billion. Why did it do over $1 billion? Because it was about time we saw women in strong lead roles. This had very rarely, if not ever, happened in the history of cinema. Time was up, ladies and gentlemen. It's women's time now. Men, know your role, know your place. Millions of people flocked to the cinema. $1 billion later. Told you so. At least that's probably how Hollywood would like to spin it. The reality of the matter was that the film was sandwiched between the two biggest Marvel movies of all time, Infinity War and Endgame. And at the end of Infinity War, it gave a big hint that Captain Marvel was on the way, and this film needed to be watched to bridge the gap between these two juggernaut movies. And of course, it had nothing whatsoever to do with either of them. Oh well. You see, despite what Access Media would like you to believe, the simple fact of the matter was the film, Captain Marvel, was not received well by audiences at all, and articles came spreading up, running to the defense of Brie Larson in the height of the hashtag #MeTooTimesUp movement. But the only time that was up was Captain Marvel's. Brie Larson was trying her hardest to make herself the most unlikable person on planet Earth.
Is that like a personal attack or something?
Yes, Brie, it is. That clip's probably going to get used quite a bit in this video, I'm just saying now. And Disney Marvel no longer had the hook of the two biggest movies in their Marvel Cinematic Universe to con people into going to the cinema. The movie that did over $1 billion demanded a sequel because of it, but now the film would have to stand on its own merit, and that was the biggest problem. And it wasn't helped by the fact that the Marvel production machine was all over the place in regards to what was releasing and when, and what was getting cut and what was getting put in. And oh my god, Captain Marvel 2 suddenly became The Marvels. Do 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 do. Brie Larson no longer had the burden of shouldering this horrific looking movie alone, as she would be joined by Monica Rambeau and Ms. Marvel, who holds unfortunately the record of having the lowest viewed live action show on Disney Plus. And right now, that's a feat and a half, because nobody's watching this shit anymore. Oh, and if you don't know who Monica Rambeau's Photon is, or Ms. Marvel, then welcome to pretty much everybody who's gonna watch this movie. But I actually did a video about that, so go check that one out as well.
How long will you play Captain Marvel for?
I don't know. Does anyone want me to do it again?
No!
Rumors started hitting, and we don't know how true these are, of course, that Brie Larson was actually very difficult to work with on set because her ego was very much damaged by the fact that she was no longer getting her solo single and was having to share the spotlight with two other co-stars.
Is that like a personal attack or something?
Brie, sweetheart, light of my life, apple of my eye. Just consider them all personal, okay? Delay after delay after delay struck Marvel movies, in particular The Marvels, until after its fourth or fifth, I really don't know, I've lost count, it finally settled on a release date set in stone of November the 10th, 2023. However, in the offices of Disney themselves, they had made the movie and they were now showing the movie, and oopsie doopsies. However, a trailer needed to go out there. The people had seen absolutely nothing. So when the first one dropped 6 months ago, holy shit, the complete and utter 180 turnaround was complete as the trailer got downvoted into the ground, heavily ratioed. This was the MCU, and people are sick of it. But what was more concerning was the fact that they had a movie and it was dog shit, and that was actually coming out of Disney themselves. With a 2-hour screener now doing the rounds at Disney, more and more people were seeing the disaster unfold in front of them, with the special effects particularly coming under heavy criticism and comments like, "This is the sort of stuff we dump on Disney Plus," coming from some of the executives that actually watched this, which is also a damning indictment of how Disney is currently viewing its streaming service. Other such terms as complete disaster also started to do the rounds, and this movie had to hit the editing room floor big time in an effort to try and salvage anything. So back to the editor it went. The second trailer didn't fare much better, even though it got the same amount of views as the first. The actual interaction with the likes and dislikes was significantly decreased, which probably had something to do with people's interests, as it just got ratioed again. The editor, however, wasn't trimming things out of the film. They were taking a hatchet to it, and instead of a few minutes going, it started to dwindle drastically in its runtime from over 2 hours to around about 1 hour and 45 minutes, making it the shortest Marvel movie yet. But that wasn't good enough, and more needed to go, because this was a disaster. Even the most recent vignettes promoting the movie actually have more footage of Captain Marvel than they do of the Marvels, and people's interaction has just died, with this one only getting 162,000 views in 8 days from a channel with over 20 million subscribers and apparently a fan base worldwide. But the editing was still going, and the 1 hour 45 minutes dissolved to the latest screener, which has done the rounds at Disney, which is 88 minutes long, less than 1 hour and a half, with a new quote now coming from the Disney execs who had seen this film, which was "skate fast over this thin ice," i.e. an idiom meaning that if we go slowly, the ice is going to crack and we're going to fall in and be consumed. So the best opportunity they have to take as least shit as possible is to make the film as short as possible. Holy shit. Stick 10 to 15 minutes worth of end credits and a couple of end credit scenes, and you can pad that runtime out to around about 1 hour 45 minutes or so. But make no bones about it, they've known that this is a disaster for a long time, maybe even as long as we have. With unconfirmed reports saying that they want Robert Downey Jr. and Chris Evans back to try and steady the ship, and other reports saying that they want to be done with this phase of the MCU as quickly as possible and then push it into a complete reboot. And right now, I don't think any reboot's gonna work if the mentality of the company is the same. The reason why the MCU became so popular in the first place is it took the characters from the source material and actually tried to convey them on screen as they were. It wasn't an ideological thing, it was an entertainment thing. And we're balls deep inside an era of ideology and not entertainment. Disney Marvel have decided to spend time on boring characters that have superficial traits that come from comics which have been cancelled multiple times because nobody's buying them and nobody cares. While massive characters and groups like the X-Men and Fantastic Four and Doctor Doom and the like are all on the sideline doing nothing. But rest assured, when they finally do make their way to the big screen, they will be Disney Marveled, i.e. Race changed, sexuality changed, gender changed, etc., etc. And what was once the MCU, taking the characters from the comics, making them look like the comics, behave like that, and pushing them with entertaining stories, has just become an ideological quagmire. So no matter how much you want to reboot your franchises, unless that is changed, unless the ideology is rid of, then it will never, ever be a success.
Well done.
If the actual runtime of the movie does end up being 88 minutes and that's the cut that they go with, it wouldn't surprise me in the slightest. Everything seems to be falling apart right now. The Daredevil writers and directors fired, go, bye. We can't salvage anything of these 8 episodes that we've already recorded. The writing is on the wall, and it's only now that Disney Marvel are looking at it and realizing that people aren't fucking about now. They want their entertainment back. They don't want their bullshit ideology rammed down your throat with your stupid Me Too's and your stupid superficiality. Make entertainment great again. Make escapism great again. The only thing I know about the Marvels movie for sure is my accountant is a very, very excited puppy right now.
Is that like a personal attack or something?
Oh, come on, Brie. Somebody's got to make some money out of this movie, because it sure as hell won't be Disney. I'll see you in the next video. You take care. Bye for now.